Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60, and yes, you can see that I'm supporting a brand new Weifeng haircut. Didn't cost me a cent. Does that make me cheap? Maybe. I don't care. Anyway, this video is not going to make me any friends because it doesn't matter which way I twist and turn it. It's gonna piss somebody off, either the Chinese or it's gonna piss the Westerners off. I was watching couple of videos from Nathan Rich because yes, subs keep sending me a link to a video he did. Serpentza is a fraud or whatever the name of it was, and what it does is it basically just rips Winston a new one type thing. It goes over the line a number of times, but I don't know. So here it goes. Okay, so this Nathan Rich, he's an ex-Scientologist. He says that his mother signed him over to the church until he was 18 years old and he couldn't run away. I don't know, most people can run away. And then he got onto the street and he was a punker and he was into drugs, and he'd been arrested a number of times by what I've seen on the internet. I don't know that for sure. And but he also makes, see, the first time I did a little check on him, it was superficial. I just, went over the basics. But then Mr. Chan from Richmond brought him to my attention. He says, maybe look a little bit closer. So I did. And a lot of his videos, well, not a lot, a couple of his videos that I watched, he's promoting, you can do it, you can get out of this little slump that you're in, because he was living in a sewer pipe at one time. And he decided to get into computers, and I guess he did fairly well at it. He talks about making $1 million and whatever. It's just money. But he's saying, yeah, it wasn't easy. I had to work really hard, and so everybody out there, work really hard, and you can do it. You can do it. But then he does this video about Serpentza because he's got a different political view, or he's got a different view. Yeah, Winston, some of your stuff is really negative towards China, and it pisses a lot of people off. Every time I do a video that even mentions Winston or Serpentza, I get a lot of hate comments. And I thought, well, yeah, there's a lot of people that don't like him, and he does do a lot of negative stuff about China. Okay, he says he loves it, but there's maybe a love-hate relationship. But then when Nathan gets on about Serpentza, he's saying, well, he said he's an IT guy, but he's just a school teacher. He's a loser. He's this, he's that. Well, I don't know. It doesn't really matter what job you have. It doesn't really matter your background. It matters what you do with your time, and do you promote hate. What do I see with these guys here? They're doing exactly the same thing. They're clickbaiting. They're making it so they can make money off of YouTube, and because they take the extreme one way or the other, it does pull out those haters, and whether that's good for YouTube or not, I don't know. I don't think it is. I think that if you're going to start promoting hate, it's not good for anybody. So anyway, Nathan goes on to say, oh, we're not the same, we're totally different, I'm this, I'm that. Well, geez, Nathan, I looked at your channel, and I looked at Serpentza's channel, and you're both exactly the same, only on the opposite spectrum of you're promoting China and down with the West, and Winston's promoting the West and down with China a lot of times. But he doesn't take it to the level of sarcasm that you seem to be able to do. And whether it's good or bad, I really don't care. I do know that when you're promoting hate on YouTube, or you take an extreme view on YouTube, you're going to get a lot more hits. So maybe that's what you guys are up to. You know, the idea that Winston's a loser, he came out of the bowels of South Africa. South Africa is not a great country, in my opinion. And, you know, to land in a place like China, as a teacher, whatever, it doesn't really make a difference. A job is a job. And if you're willing to work, you can better yourself. So he's a teacher, teaches doctors English, okay? Training doctors, teaching English, what's the difference? Does that make you a loser? Absolutely not. But then he turned himself from an English teacher in China to somebody that's got over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube on his channel, and then he does the ADV channel, which has I'm not sure, 200,000-300,000 subscribers. So I would imagine with the numbers he's putting out, he's probably making $100,000 a year. I would estimate at least that. How does that make you a loser? You know what I mean? So Nathan says, well, he spouts hate about China to make money off YouTube. Well, is that different than spouting hate against the West or against a person to get clicks and make money on YouTube? No, it's the same thing. You look at the comments in Nathan Rich's, and it's the Chinese people bitching about the West, or the Western people saying, Nathan, you're an idiot. You know, just like the same thing on Winston's, where he gets the Chinese haters hating him because he said something bad about China. It's the same thing, guys. And Nathan, when you say I'm nothing like Winston or Serpentza, no, you're exactly the same. He has maybe more hair than you do, but you know, it's one of those things that if you're willing to go down that road, and the war of words is what I'm going to call this one, if you're willing to go down that road, I guess you're doing it for a reason, whether it's to make money because you feel so adamant about the subject that you're willing to try to tear somebody down, or you're just trying to tear somebody down to build yourself up, or at that time you didn't have a lot of subscribers. So I'm thinking that maybe you were using Winston to promote your channel. Well, you know, that's okay. You could have done it in a little bit of more of a humane way. It's one of those things that I don't think it makes. I don't even know how to say this. I don't think that you're doing anybody a service, not even yourself, not China. You're not doing YouTubers a service. You're spreading hate, and that's the way it is. You know, there is the idea that you came from the United States and Winston came from South Africa, so you probably had a better chance at a better life than what he was given. And what did you do with it? You ended up on the streets as you know, and getting arrested. I noticed in that one video that you did that you were saying, oh yeah, I've been checked by the Chinese government. I haven't been arrested. I've seen some rap sheets, whether they're bullshit or not. They were on the internet, and I don't trust anything on the internet. But it seemed to show that you've been arrested for a couple of things. Well, whichever way it washes out, with the new biometrics that are needed by the Chinese government for visas, work permits, and such, if you did get arrested and you do have a record in the United States, they will, next time you go for a visa or something like that, they will find it out, and they will 86 your ass out of China. Or if you haven't been, I guess, indicted and found guilty, then you got nothing to worry about. I do know that there's different levels of criminality, you know, indictable offenses, summary offenses, and you know, if you what do they call that? Conditional discharge. If you get arrested for something and you be a good boy for the next 2 years and they just squash that conviction. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of levels. So I would imagine that if you were arrested and you are in China and they have checked you out and you've done your biometrics already, that it wasn't serious enough to keep you out of China. But time will tell, because that's why the Chinese government put in the biometrics, is to find those people that come into their country that shouldn't be there. I did a couple videos about Winston back about a year ago when I was in Nanning, and boy, the haters hate. I got more hate comments off that video than I've gotten out of 128 other videos that I've done, and I guess it's one of those things that if you get on the wrong side of a lot of people, and Chinese people are the same as Westerners, if you start calling their country down and their people down, or things that they do that you don't like, well, yeah, you're going to get those people, especially on the internet. But on the other side, if you're attacking people and their country, I guess you deserve to get the hate comments. As I say, I'm not going to make any friends making this one, because it doesn't matter which way I twist it. I'm going to piss somebody off, and I don't mind. I'm old enough and strong enough to handle that. But something like this sort of tears down the Chinese YouTubers, because the Chinese YouTuber community is basically English teachers. So Nathan, are they all losers too? Because they teach English to Chinese people? No. And I don't get that. You know, it's just one of those things that that makes no sense to me. But because you both do this hate thing and make money off of it on YouTube, you're tearing down the rest of the YouTubers in China, and you're taking them down a notch too. So what I think would be a better thing than trying to tear each other down on social media, maybe you could do the same thing as Bieber and Tom Cruise are going to do, and get into an MMA fight in the octagon. I'd like to see that, and I'd come along and I'd be the referee, and I'd videotape it. Oh, there'd be lots of people videotaping that one. Hey, and we could call it, I don't know what we could call it. Maybe in the comment section below, we could figure out what we're going to call this MMA fight between Serpentza and Nathan Rich. And because Winston come from South Africa, and they make him tough down there, I would be betting on Winston to come out on top on that one. What do you guys say? I do know that this YouTube thing does sort of move you in different directions. Winston's stuff, he started out showing the good stuff of China, and I don't know, probably not as many hits as he would like. So he started to promote a little bit more of China bashing. Yes, and you may say, oh, I'm not China bashing, but yeah, there's a lot of China bashing on your videos. I've watched a number of them. I don't watch too many anymore because the theme is like that. But it makes more clicks. It makes more money. And if this is what you've decided to do with your life, and it's your job, it's your income, and you've obviously got a family now that you got to take care of. So yeah, I can see why you're doing it, and the more you get into the YouTube thing, the more it sort of moves you in different ways to get that clickbait going. And is this video about clickbait for Gweilo 60? Yeah, I agree that it is. It's one of those things, but it's also at a number of requests from different subscribers that subscribe to my channel, and I do it on their behalf too. But Nathan, Nathan. There's not much that could be said. You promote work hard and get these things done, and you can have a better life. But then again, you turn around and you attack other people and stuff. Maybe you're still young enough that you don't know any better, or you've had a background that makes you think that this is okay. No. Attacking what somebody does and not agreeing with it is okay. But then attacking the person personally, unless he's wronged you in some horrendous way, I don't see there's any reason for acting the way that you did in that video. I'm giving you 2 thumbs down, and I'm going to call the video what it is, just trash. See, I've spent about 16 years in China, and no place is perfect, and a lot of the things that Winston brings up, if you've been in China for a long time, you understand that a lot of the stuff is true. Sure, he could sugarcoat it a little bit more, and when you're saying, yeah, you know that there's things wrong with China, but you're not going to promote it because you don't see that will do you any good. Well, yeah, that may be a better way to do it than the way that Winston does it. But then again, you're back to that tearing people down, and that doesn't go good with a lot of people. I'm sure that both of you are not going to be pleased with this video, and oh well, that's the way it is. I've done a video with Winston, as I said, a couple videos back about a year ago. Nathan, I'd really like to do a video with you because I think there's more potential there than just being so pro-China that you're against anybody that would say anything bad about China. So maybe you could reach out and we could do a video. I don't know, wherever in China you want. I travel around the country a lot, so I could stick it into my schedule sooner or later. Let me know. Well, that's another video from Gweilo 60. As always, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Bye now.